Okay, welcome back. Just saw a cat leap across the camera.
Before we get into this, guys, we are in the lobby for Apotheosis, and we're going to go when everyone else is. Got to give a shout out to either I am Ba or Lamba99, Twitch Prime subscriber, Rumpapa 1980, Twitch Prime subscriber, and of course, Arrogance just resubbed for the 9-month resub, and another brand new Twitch Prime subscriber. But I'm going to struggle with this one, Saint Quinsica?
Quinsica.
Apologies if we're saying any of these names incorrectly, but thank you guys for your subscriptions through Prime. Super appreciate it. We even have someone in chat asking what's up with all these Twitch Prime subscriptions. Twitch Prime's a new features unveiled at TwitchCon this past weekend, and the TLDR is if you use Amazon Prime, then you have Twitch Prime. Just link your accounts together. They both give you, like, one gives you the other type thing. You can't have one without the other, and you get a lot of cool stuff. But one of the really cool benefits you can do to support your favorite streamers is you get one free subscription a month with it. So it won't cost you the $5 it normally would to subscribe to somebody, but they'll still, like, for us, for example, if you subscribe to us, we'll still get the money for the sub as if you had sub normally, which is awesome. You also get ad-free viewing like Twitch Turbo used to be. You get some free game stuff, which is really cool. You can find out more by looking it up yourself, but of course, the free subs are what we are after, and thank you guys so much for that.
Always fun to watch them pronounce foreign names.
Oh, I give
How
up
is
an
that
X period.
I mean, how would you say that name, chat?
Saint Quinsica. Quinsica? Quinceañera. I feel like I'm not getting warmer to this.
You're not getting closer, but you're getting closer to like an actual foreign word.
Yeah. Well, quinceañera is like girls' like what 15th birthday or something, right?
I don't know.
All right. Well, this will be the first semifinal. So excuse me. Damn, it's early. It is 4:07 a.m. here on the West Coast. Shout out if you're waking up crazy early like me. But yeah, it'll be the first semifinals, the best of 5. So more action is always better.
Yep. Getting the feeling BaseTradeTV has gone commercial. We've always had commercials.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Good joke.
So apparently ByuN's fans brought coffee and donuts and put stickers on it called the ByuNimoleague. That was really hard to say.
That's adorable, and I love it. Oh, I guess I don't know why we didn't tell stream this. You know who we ran into this weekend, Zombie Grove?
Who?
That's it. Who do we run into?
Who
Day 9. Day 9. We got
sure,
to see Day 9 at the bar, like the last night of TwitchCon, which is pretty cool. Haven't seen him in a while. Still very happy, cheery fella. I always find it weird that he recognizes us, though. Like, that's just not a thing for me or on my radar. I feel like we're on the, like, we shouldn't be on his scope, I guess, or his radar.
Maybe, I don't know. The first time that I met him was when he did Red Bull DC. So back then he was still doing StarCraft. He always still like pays attention to StarCraft. He tweets out like tasteless and whatnot. Thank you to Super Duper Nils for the Twitch Prime sub. Woohoo!
Thank you. But as you guys can hear those beeps, we can finally stuff the small talk to the side because we're going to get into the first game of the semifinals. Top side of the bracket is going to be a TvT, so you know what, guys? Well, it's a little unconventional to do this. We all may need to cheer for Stork, lest we be left with TvTs. Am I right?
Am I right? Am I right? Yeah.
I'm okay with TvTs. I know you're okay with TvTs, but it seems like our audience has got some TvT, anti-TvT going on a lot of the time.
Well, they don't know any better. It's fine.
They're the plebs.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
What?
Well, it's the first game in a best of 5 in the bottom right. Okie do.
Okay, Devo was placed wrong. I was like, what? Sounded like a tank shot.
He is ByuN.
Okay, ByuN's already messing it up. Maybe the coffee's getting to him. Those jitters shaking his hands so he can't quite focus. His opponent at the top left gonna be none other than Stork, who I'm wondering, I don't actually know, is he still on Samsung?
Yeah, as far as I know, he's still the player coach. I mean,
okay, yeah. I mean, with him playing here and there and casting all over the place, I kind of didn't know where he was at, you know.
Well,
Whether this is like, the in control of Korea and he's just doing everything, or
there's not much to do as a player coach right now for Samsung, so.
Fair enough.
Hey, oh, womp womp. Yeah, because none of the players are even in, I think, the KESPA finals, semifinals. TY. Yeah, I don't know. Anywho,
Anyway.
Stork. Anywho.
Anywhere? Any when?
No one makes a transition with anywhere.
What about any Dow?
Why isn't that a thing? Anywhere. It's the way you say it that makes a transition anyway. So, gold base taken by Stork, not too unexpected. Apotheosis, pretty popular for Zergs, and sometimes Protoss to take that as the gold base as their natural base. It's always interesting, but it can happen.
Thank you for the regular subscription. Both are the same thing, guys. I want to make that very clear. Thank you, Starburner SC2, for that new sub hype. This is, without a doubt, the most, I think, subs we've had in a while. Feels good, man.
Oh, for sure. Has it always had stars behind the resub notice? Or new sub notice, whatever, basically. Yeah, I don't know. Because I know there's a way that you can donate and add additional things to it, but if they, like, pay extra...
Oh, yeah, so that's like you pay like $4.99 a month to Streamlabs or whatever.
Yeah, so maybe that's what he has.
That's cool.
Yeah, there was like stars and stuff. That was so pretty.
You can actually customize it with the streamer's own emotes too, like if you're subscribed to them.
Yeah. Special.
And as Reaper cleans up that probe, so not too much issue over here.
Yeah, they bring the Reaper back home and everything. I thought it was already pretty big, but the point is Reaper's gonna scout what it needs to, and that's the gold base being taken. So also, no, it's a second base being taken. You know that they're not gonna have anything too sneaky right off the bat. And since ByuN is going for a Widowmine drop, anything that is sneaky that's happening off of two bases would be scouted by that anyway. So not saying you should give the Reaper away. But yeah, he could definitely use it to kill a probe if he really wanted to try. Doesn't go for it. He would have been able to get that, I'm just saying, but ByuN chose to keep the Reaper alive. Could send it to the main base. Again, not much going on up here. Just a robo.
I really like that this is Stork, I think, really well explained. Because I feel like he doesn't take the game... Not like... It's not that he doesn't take it seriously, but I don't think he takes the game as seriously and as intensely as some of these other guys may. He's willing to do things like, go straight to that goal right away, whereas other players would play very conservatively around their natural against a player like ByuN of all people. But sometimes these risks are what you need to take, and if that economy lets him overcome ByuN, more power to him.
Mm-hmm. Looks like the Reaper tried to go in, but was denied. Handful of stalkers just surrounding everywhere, but now it could be sneaky and just go up here, and the probe takes that into account. Thank you to Yneck for the 12-month resub, Matus.
By the way, because this was something also unveiled at Twitch, there's going to be subscriber loyalty badges now. So, for example, you can have a different, like our default GG can be a different icon entirely for like 12 months or 6 months, etc. I'm definitely making the Partouf one, the 12-month one. It makes the most sense. Just going to use like that emote as the actual icon. But just lots of other cool things coming, guys. So, Twitch came out with a lot of cool stuff over the weekend. But thank you for the 12-month resub, Yneck. Make sure to send us a message here on Twitch so I can get you a form to fill out. Get you a real-life Partouf.
Mm-hmm. Well, that doesn't do very much. The Reaper taking a full scout in the main base, however, so... Oh my god, that almost died. I know that he knows the third base is on the way as well. Hazabui! Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub.
New sub train keeps rolling, but I love that Hazabui sounds like a sound I would make to something like... Like, just run away.
Okay, that sounded like an incantation or something.
Oh yeah, I was definitely casting a spell just now.
Oh, this probe is gonna die. You were chosen.
That medevac almost died though, which is a lot more alarming to me. Either way, scary things. Tries to use a distraction, but Stork, not phased, picks off that medevac in the top right. ByuN, not getting the greatest start to this game.
No.
He starts off by goofing up with a depot, and these drops have not been that great.
Yeah, what's really frustrating for ByuN is not just that the drops are being taken down, which is always not ideal, but it's also that he knows the gold base has not been punished at all. Oh, these probes have been punished by having a pylon right there. Dorks. Anyway.
I mean, is it enough? I wonder how much that actually affects minus of it. Like, is
I
that
don't
an
know.
extra 100 minerals lost? Is that really negligible? Nothing like 20? Like, I wonder how much that actually affects it.
I have no idea.
Because it reminds me a little bit of that engineering blade block Terrans are so convinced are effective. I'm not on board for it, but I hate looking at the idle probe more than anything else.
All right. But anyway, you know, gold base not punished, third base not being punished either. The fact that Stork's going for double forge makes a lot of sense. I mean, Sats went for it too, but that was like a little bit scary to go for since he was already losing Colossus and Mothership cores. Here, it's just like absolutely go for it. You've had a great start to the game, but all the chrono goes into it as well. I think it's totally fine. And he will have better upgrades. ByuN is only getting +1 right now. He will have Stim and Combat Shields, and he'll have a Fighting Force. But he won't have, you know, that extra medevac. He won't have any Widow Mines included in here as well.
This Fighting Force should also be a good, almost, I'd say, 11 to 15 supply higher. Losing 2 medevacs, really unfortunate. Losing the drops inside of them kind of sucks. Or you still lost the 1 medevac, excuse me. But still, losing the content of those Marines. Like, this should be a bigger army out of ByuN, for certain.
Yeah, should be. Stork is just still getting his production. It's going to time out really well with ByuN's push. ByuN getting his 3rd CC on the gold base makes sense, but unfortunately it is just really just started. Could be denied, maybe like in a depth somewhere, but Stork has some pretty damn good map vision, observers everywhere, Warp Prism to the right side. Army was even looking to come in to get a couple of, I guess, pot shots off on the army, since Blink is already done. Dodge is around that missile turret, but there's reinforcements. ByuN is on top of this, but it just takes a bit of shield damage, and it's gonna come back later. So it's something that ByuN always has to consider, be worried about. Another observer goes down. He's really trying to clear up Stork's vision here. But Stork should have a good enough army to deal with this. He's about to have Resident Glaze finished up too.
Oh, that pylon range, though.
Gas denial's not too bad for Stork. He's already banking 1,000. Oh no, now I have to take this one's gases.
No, what is my life?
The Warp Prism did try and, I guess, halt the 3rd Command Center. Got the SCV, but did not stop this from forming. It's still pretty late, you know? That's the gold base finally, but Stork already on a 4th base. Too many Adepts to take care of with just this small of an army. No Widow Mines here either to get that splash. He needs to catch up with his reinforcements. Almost caught the Warp Prism, but Stork on top of things. Again, not taking any hull damage. This is going to be reinforcement point now, and ByuN, he could just die here. Better upgrades for the Protoss. Looking like a better army.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to have the army supplies close like this, but we often have to go into like the type of supply, and I feel the fact that there's just so many Adepts, and like, if ByuN gets like a couple good Widow Mines, this could change everything, right? Like a couple good hits, EMP the army, so there's no shields. Very different game. But right now, full strength, untouched Protoss army, A move versus A move, I don't think actually favors ByuN.
No. Liberator to go down? Oh no, it's over here. 2 Liberators, I suppose. So they're denying some mining and, of course, distracting Stork. His army just goes through the Widow Mines. I don't know if that's actually the right move. He blinks up in the main as well. So the 3rd base is still untouched. The Widow Mines aren't helping, but he did segment his army into multiple little, you know, groups here, which ByuN, with all of his army, was actually able to take care of. But another mass warping of Adepts, that might
God.
just do it.
The
Upgrade's
supplies
still not
dropping
quite
quick.
done.
I mean,
Plus
both
one,
players are still on
please.
similar supplies for the time being, and it's not quite over just yet, but it does get worse and worse for ByuN as he starts bleeding out the SCVs into this.
Yeah, and his production, of course, being camped, really not helping either. 17 SCVs have gone down. Liberator can only help so much. There are 3 Stalkers, and it just barely got enough hits off. Widow Mines finally being transferred over. That's kind of cool. And by kind of cool, I mean really cool. Gonna get the Warp Prism. Maybe one more shot on the Adepts, and he will be able to clean this up, but will it be an even game after this? I'm actually not sure. 2 barracks have gone down, now up to almost 30 SCVs gone as they transfer to that gold base, and Stork is still on 4 bases. He just needs to remake the army, which is not as impossible of a task as it was like in Heart of the Swarm. Stork, in fact, just starting to bank money. He's not warping it anywhere right now. There we go, 8 Adepts back at home. Upgrades finishing up for him as well, so he still has that upgrade lead. He didn't win the game with that, which he might have been able to had he just avoided the Widow Mines taking a direct fight. But he certainly did a lot of damage, and ByuN is basically back down to 1 base mining.
Yeah, what do you think here? Mules, gold base, like is a combination of the two going to be enough, or
Well,
is this
for a
just perhaps a
time.
little? I guess yeah. I mean, it's not going to last for forever, but
Yeah. Stork, this is a moment where he is a little bit down in the army supply. If this is Frozen Temple, or the shorter maps that we have available, ByuN's already counterattacking and maybe even like killing a Nexus somewhere because the fourth bases start to, get in the middle of the map in Frozen Temple. But trying to use his Widow Mines to kill economy means that he won't have them for the main engagements. They'd be up against Archons anyway, which, I mean, they help, like a mini EMP, as I would say, but they still wouldn't be amazing. I still think better to use them there, though. If they had gotten the probes. Just attacking the gas guzzers once again. I guess Stork finally needs these, as he is warping in High Templars, but still not the end of the world. And ByuN only has a 10 army supply lead without benefit of upgrades. And Stork could totally give this base up. He doesn't even need to save it. Focus fire on the Archons. Needs the help with the Widow Mines, though. Warp Prism goes into the main base. There's nothing here. There's a couple Widow Mines, a couple Marauders. Widow Mines are cleaned up over there. Widow Mines get a decent shot over here, but lose the medevac for it and are going to clean up too.
Promise to you, it's not even just about that. I mean, okay, first the counterattack with the adapts. Warp Prism almost goes down, but it doesn't, and that's the key factor here. The fact that it doesn't. But these Widow Mines, even if they got the most amazing hits.
Oh my god.
That Warp Prism just refuses to die. It's not going to happen today.
Jeez.
But it was, even if those Widow Mines got the best hits in the universe, like, ByuN's still in a really tough spot.
That's pretty important to take care of the Warp Prism, though, because Stork is looking to move out and attack, so now he has to wait another production round in his robo. Kind of funny that the Marine finally got it. I think ByuN can take this engagement, but he'd need to have his Liberators already pre-sieged, and his Widow Mines need to get some good hits. Yeah. It's scary. The army supply in favor of ByuN, but the upgrade's going to be pretty bad, especially if the Chrono Boost is in the armor upgrade. And, oh, that was another Warp Prism already. Just a couple of depths. Oh, Widow Mines are not burrowed. They burrow now, though. The Stalkers did blink forward, so a lot of them just got chopped down by the bio there. He probably needs more depths. Another Mortal goes down. Stork needs to be careful not to lose this game because his army fights go poorly.
And the thing is, like, it's something silly too. Like, this isn't crazy, amazing Liberators. It's just like really good positioning, taking advantage of the chokes. Like, ByuN slowly, like, emphasis here on slowly, but surely starting to chip his way back into this.
Yeah. Another upgrade about to finish up for Stork. They'll have 3-2 over what is still 1-1 for about 20 more seconds. Scary stuff. But the Warp Prism has joined up. Of course, he's just running back home anyway, so he's going to have reinforcement points. And the nice amount of adepts now makes this army look a lot better than when it was just really Stalkers. +2 will finish up. Still full upgrade set behind. This base is just so not important anymore.
Just skirting along the outside of those Liberators there with those Immortals.
Oh, base
I mean,
trade?
such incredibly powerful units you can't afford to lose.
Mother Shipper's gonna go down. That's a nice start to a base trade for ByuN, but I'm just worried his army won't... It just won't stand up to whenever Stork does pull back. Okay, well things are about to get really funky. Marines, please do your job and kill a Nexus. A lot of probes gonna go down. They were mostly all over here as the natural and mana getting mined out. Rocks, oh, actually broken down. Nicely done by ByuN to buy more time. A bunker to, like, help out the tiniest little bit. Oh, some nice Widow Mine shots on the Stalkers that blink forward. He does not have an observer with this army, does he? He's bringing one over now as he realizes how important they are. Maybe if he gets more Widow Mines, he still has a reactor in that factory. Starting to lift all of his command centers every which way. This probe scouts. They think this is the gold-based command center. Nexus goes down. Stork still has production, and he does have a lot of minerals. Oh my god, it's a real base race.
Well, it's a base trade to the point where he's lifting up the barracks. Like, we don't see this happen too often versus Protoss, right? Flying your buildings away, but it's... ByuN's doing everything he can to stay in this game. He's really not giving up.
He lost 2 command centers, which really sucks. This one, had it not landed, would have been able to just stay in the corner, I think.
I feel like it is still too much too much damage taken already, like for ByuN. And I mean this like very specifically with the army, but it's if he had cut out all of Stork's mine, Stork had absolutely no probes remaining, no bases on the map. ByuN could probably turtle with a small army supply like this. But if ByuN is to turtle behind Widow Mines and Liberators, which he can do, Stork should be able to out-mine, out-expand, and eventually outproduce whatever the Liberators and Widow Mines can do. So
Jesus.
I think he knows this too, so that's why he's trying to push for an engagement.
He really wants to start sniping units, whether it's the Warp Prism or the Archon, but unfortunately with the mobility that Stork has, with Blink Stalkers, and a nice amount of them too, as well as, of course, Glaive, or Shades, rather, or the Depths.
That's in the mine, by the way. Just want to point that out. Looks like that map. Commander is actually up north, in the middle of nowhere, and just banking for scans. And I guess if he can pick off observers, that's gonna be more valuable than mules right now.
Yeah, he also wants to know where the army is, I guess. Yeah, I would give it to Stork every single time. ByuN can try and snipe units, but I think Stork snipes will be better. Yeah, snipes a Widow Mine, gets out of there.
It's not a contest.
It literally is a contest.
Actually, you're right. You're very right about that.
Wow. Like one time you use it against me, and it's just not true. A couple of pylons, I guess Stork really was preparing for the potential of a real base race, like last building to die. Which, if Stork wasn't relying so heavily on Widow Mines and Liberators, could have been a possibility, but of course these units don't actually attack buildings.
Liberators set up on that ramp. We're really hoping to get a huge advantage in the fight. Unfortunately, though, they are dismantled, and ByuN is going to fall to Stork in his first game.
Gosh. I mean, to be clear, ByuN was in the worst position throughout the entire game, basically. Once his Widow Mine drop didn't work and it actually got killed, he was in a bad position. He brought it back to a scary point, but it was Stork's to lose, kind of.
It's still, for me, it's still cool seeing this, because Stork is the guy we talk about, right? Like, he's really flippy-floppy, 50-50. On the other hand, ByuN, we've talked about this as well. This is the one matchup he really doesn't like. He's good at it, don't get me wrong, but it's a matchup he's not a fan of. So seeing Stork beat him, impressive for Stork. But now it's gonna, like, game 2, game 3, that will be up to ByuN to show us, like, whether is he just simply weak at the matchup, was that a once-off bad game? I mean, again, that started with a depot being misplaced. Nobody likes starting with a depot misplaced.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. I mean, I've already started to affect him. Next map is going to be King Sejong Station.
Okay. It's ByuN's pick. It's an interesting choice.
He's probably gonna cheese him again. Cheese. No, ByuN, he dismantled stats, really. He looked really good at the cheese on King Sejong, and he looked really good in the macro game on New Gettysburg, but he also used a different build, and I guess New Gettysburg also doesn't have the added complication of the gold base, but I think that the Widow Mine drop just was probably one of the worst he's ever executed in a while, just doing no damage with both drops and then losing the one drop full of units. That's usually pretty bad. Thank you to Zarfield for the 21-month resub.
And then Sven Ninja also hit us up with a Twitch Prime sub during that game, but we were so freaking busy focused on some pretty intense engagements, so sorry for missing that one, man. But know that you gotta love. And thank you for the Twitch Prime sub.
Yep. My cat is being such a little flip-flopper. I love you, I hate you. I love you, I hate you. Oh, he's pretty cute.
It's a tough relationship.
It is. Alright, in the bottom right, in game number 2, he is the Red Terran ByuN.
And his opponent, up one game currently, it is the Blue Protoss Stork.
Yeah, up one. It's pretty impressive, because it wasn't just like, oh, he got lucky. Although, again, it did suck that ByuN's build just did not work out. It was all because Stork had really good positioning. He played the game very well, just like pace-wise and positioning-wise.
I have a thought.
What?
So, I've been thinking about this really tough since that first bit of that last game. Like, why did ByuN misplace that depot, right?
Okay, why?
I forgot they were all having a chicken party eating before they started playing games. And ByuN, maybe he's the type of guy who doesn't wash his hands. I don't know. I'm not saying that he does or doesn't wash his hands, but I am saying a greasy hand could lead to a misclick.
So instead of Butterfingers, he has chicken fingers.
But I would love to eat some chicken fingers right now. Are you kidding me? It's probably what's going through ByuN's mind.
Probably. Although, do they have a chicken party? Because apparently they also brought coffee and donuts.
I just love that this is kind of becoming like a cool hangout thing. Like the Olimoleague is not just like a once-off little thing. Only 8 people show up. Like if there's actually fans showing up to deliver gifts, that's so cool to me.
Yeah. Well, first of all, ByuN is just very active with his fans. He's talked about it by far the most, about fan meetings and whatnot.
Oh, excuse me, Olivia's correcting me. It was pizza in chat, not chicken. My bad. I always just
go.
associate chicken with Korea, but pizza's even greasier. So I'm just saying that it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Get some cheese in you, start getting some of the farts. You know, like it's a distraction. Olimoleague has confirmed sabotaged. She's not only hacked every account on Twitch. She sabotaged the Olimoleague.
Yes, her specifically chose to do that. Yeah, I'm sure. Also, like, maybe it was like one of those weirder Korean pizzas, like potato pizza.
I had a mashed potato bacon pizza at the Nadia's subscriber meetup thing. It was so good. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know you could put mashed potatoes on a pizza.
You can put anything on a pizza and still call it pizza. Anyway, the second thing is that since Pro League is over, the fans have to redirect their energy to something.
That's
have all
true.
these cakes, and they're
Yeah,
like
like
pretty
the
little boxes. I need to bring it somewhere.
You got the fangirls like literally with the shakes like, who do we idolize? I don't know what to do.
So it's come down to apparently ByuN. Although I'd be really surprised if Stork still doesn't have like a good number of really dedicated fans that have been with him since Brood War. Although
Actually,
I guess like,
so-
oh my god, those fangirls would be like in their like mid-20s or maybe even like
It's like the
30s.
airline hostesses who have like become old. They were hot at one point, but
Wow.
because they've been working the airline for so long, right? Anyways, I was gonna say before the Stargate opener really takes this game into a certain direction, I was also just gonna comment on, of course, for those who don't know, ByuN recently picked up a team expert. I think this is really cool. I can't disclose this information publicly, but I know how much money ByuN wants per month because we had asked him before. If you remember, we had that crazy idea. So, assuming that's the amount or something close to that they're paying him, I'm very happy for ByuN. Is all I can say right now.
SS Whisk makes a good point. You cannot put a car on a piece of bread and call it pizza.
Oh,
He's missing the pizza sauce, clearly.
That's one of the
Goddamn.
guys you shouldn't really acknowledge in chat tonight. I'm just saying.
Picture it didn't happen, if you say so. He made a good point. If he doesn't
He's
make any
also-
other good points, then we'll ban him.
He's also been a dick to you for the last like 20 minutes.
Oh, well, mods are slacking then.
Feels bad, man. By the way, actually, so we got the Phoenix opener. We're gonna take care of the medevac. This is cool to see. Also get on top of Liberators later. What I think is really interesting, though, going back to Twitch for just 1 second while the attack dances around, the fact that when you delete messages, people can't click on them anymore. So you can't just like draw attention to yourself by getting your message banned in chat, which I think is fantastic. Thank you, Twitch, for doing that.
Okay, so another situation where ByuN's drops did not work out very well. The Phoenixes take care of it. And Stork even has a pylon being set up right now. It's going to be scouted by ByuN's Liberator, which is kind of awkward. Not that I can do very much against it, but Stork is moving across the map with the adepts that he has. ByuN does not have a lot of units. He's going to have a couple of key units, a tank, a cyclone, and a medevac.
Well, the wall's not up. A little concerning, but might not be that big of a... It's... The Phoenix is going to swoop in here ideally and pick up the tank and remove that from the equation. Or the Adepts just transfer past everything. Depot is raised at the last second. Was a little bit worried about that, but of course, there's that pickup. Widow Mines firing off are a little bit surprising to see.
Oh, that one of the mineral actually got a pretty good hit on the Phoenixes. That helped a lot. The Phoenixes probably should still have taken care of the medevac, though, in their last dying breath, but
it may have been worth sacrificing on it, because let's be honest, the only reason that tank lived was because of how it was maneuvered around.
Yeah. Exactly.
By the way, big thank you to Joe Selleck,
Joselek?
Twitch Prime sub. Not saying that right, I'm pretty sure, but but thank you.
Yay?
Okay, so ByuN's got a combination of like one of just about every unit right now. You got a tank, a Liberator, a medevac, a cyclone. technically a Marine, but also a lot of other A Marines to go with it. He's actually got a really sizably nice army, and because Stork did take such a bad fight just now, if ByuN wanted to push out, I think he could. I think it's totally fine and even better that he's not. But I love his position in the game, going from just like, uh-oh, this could be a shaky defense to, okay, not looking so bad.
Okay, all the Phoenix is officially dead. Yep, one last shot, despite the attempted pickup. Cleans up the proxy pylon. Doesn't have to deal with that anymore. Not a bad move at all. And of course, he still has to wait a while before Sim's done, so it's not like his push is really time dependent. Scans in the middle of the third base plus main base? That was weird. I guess looking for the army composition, but it wasn't there. So over here, bring it on the rocks. Well, I guess he was worried that ByuN would be able to take advantage of the tank push behind those rocks. Another proxy pylon cleaned up over here, and third base going on location. Stork does not have double forge this time, so in fact, ByuN will be jumping ahead in upgrades, and even getting the ship weapon upgrades already. That's pretty quick. That's like super quick. Interesting. Another Liberator comes over here to try and do harassments, but yeah, usually you see that along with close to, I guess, the timing of the second starport. The upgrades are pretty quick for ByuN. Stork's gonna have to catch up.
What I like about ByuN is it's not so much really, for me at least, looking at this 1-1 timing or 2-2 timing or anything like that. It is really like when stim done. Because the second ByuN gets the ability to be mobile, to have that attack speed and the run around abilities, that's when you know he's really going to cause trouble. Oh, that War Prism though, the Adept was, it did draw the Cyclone out of position. This would have intercepted it otherwise. So 2 Immortals going to come in from the backside. One of mine's got to get down soon if they want to get down at all. He knows that too. So this will pop off of the War Prism, maybe. One goes off of the War Prism.
Wow, that reached.
That really did. The Adept army continued to push on. That Bioforce has got to stim away, run for its life. And this is where stim becomes, once again, very valuable. 10 health, but saves your life.
The Liberator's going to get some damage done on the third base, I think. Widow Mines are coming in from behind. Maybe they'll get another shot off. This poor tank is doomed. Goodbye, tank. Widow Mines are also not going to get another shot off, and ByuN is just trying to hold up in his natural. Third base was just lifted and abandoned, except for a couple of SCVs that are still around. ByuN is taking this fight super, super seriously. There's that denial of the income for Stork.
Yeah, I love this too. It's not going to kill Stork outright, but it will bring him down to like his level for mining. This is still... if these Widow Mines go off, this is a bad transfer out of Stork. ByuN should absolutely... Top ramp. Back like a little bit more dicey for ByuN, but it's productive. Downside, this costs 35 SCVs to hold the defense.
Skype's doing the thing again, so sorry.
Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, 36 SCVs going down. All the bases still live, so he can definitely mule drop after that, and he does have better upgrades. Widow Mine's coming off cooldown again, too. And Stork's army has been entirely cleaned up. ByuN could try and counterattack right now, and he probably should. He will still continue to have the upgrade lead, even if he takes a long time to finally attack. The Liberator's going to try and take care of this. Oh, the Cyclone comes back. Deals with the War Prisms. Now the Morals are probably going to go down. They're just not fast enough to retreat. And that's just Stork losing more and more army supplies. Already down by 20. Now going to go down to almost below 30. And I think, like, it's, you know, including the Militia Corps and the Phoenix, a single Phoenix, which is not going to help out that much. I think ByuN could totally win, especially if he had stood up the army already. There's only Stalkers right there. But he's going to go to the natural. The rocks are already broken down. Actually, now a pleasant surprise for ByuN, as opposed to a detriment when he had those tanks. Liberator siege up. Widow Mine still available. Overcharge not going to be that helpful, as it's now over and done with. War Prism might get some return damage, though. I don't know, Adepts. I don't know, Adepts. Okay. Not gonna go for it. I guess army retreating, reinforcements retreating as he realizes the Adepts could kill the rest of his SCVs. He has 34. That's actually not that bad. Militia Corps is gonna go down. She popped her last overcharge anyway. Gets a medevac with it, though. Pretty useful. Third base gonna get cleaned up. War Prism not getting cleaned up. But I think ByuN's army might just be good enough. Stork still needs this Nexus. This isn't a case where he has a 4th base somewhere already who can transfer the probes. He still needs to have some decent production, and now ByuN has 2-2 upgrades versus just 1-1. Woodamines go off on the probes and a couple of the Adepts. Not much healing left over, though, for the Bio. There's 2 more Medivacs right now. I think he could turn around and actually take this on. But he's going to play it safe and go back and deal with the Warp Prism. A lot of his reinforcements have been kept back here to deal with this specifically, so just figuring he'll team up and defend now, apparently, as Stork is going for the attack. I don't think Stork can actually win with an attack. Warp Prism's still alive, though. He does have a reinforcement point. A couple Stalkers being caught off guard. They do not have Blink. So, I mean, in a way, they're kind of useless, but maybe still get a good position on the Liberators. And they still add DPS, of course, that damage. And now they have that +2 attack upgrade. Things are looking a little bit more even. It's still 2-2-1 versus just 2-1, though, in Terran's favor. I guess the Liberator's already down. Oh, ByuN could make more. Sitting away from the Adepts. He wants to not be actually, like, surrounded by them, and that works out pretty damn well for ByuN. Stalker's just not that helpful, not even take on the Medivacs right here, and ByuN just stims through. GG. ByuN takes game number 2. And his webcam went off. So that's awkward. Hello.
Let's hope that fixes it.
Maybe.
To explain, as we always do, guys, this happens once in a while. It's just unfortunate that, for whatever reason, Skype is the program to use, and it's garbage, and we should probably, at one point, get Zoom fixed. We keep saying we'll do this for like a year. Because Skype quality is just not good. And unfortunately, as you guys just witnessed in that last game, can sometimes just straight up drop the call for no real reason. Yeah,
it was pretty bad. But this is going to take us into game number 3, all tied up. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break and be back, hopefully with the lobby ready to go. Welcome back, everybody. It's game number 3, and we're on Frost, Stork's map choice. In the top left, tying it up 1-1, he is the Red Terran, ByuN.
And I didn't have my camera on you. Whoops, there we go. In the bottom right, it is going to be the blue Protoss Stork.
Man, Skype really is a terrible program. Apparently, while we were gone, it reverts back to that thing where if you have it on your phone, they'll turn you to online and not busy, which we all know is a terrible thing.
Oh, so then you get the amazing squiggles?
Squiggles?
the stupid noise when like someone messages you.
Is that what you call the sound?
That's what I call it. It sounds like a squiggle. It's like,
I don't, actually. I just muted Skype completely, because there's, as far as I'm concerned, there's like no reason to have the sounds on. Occasionally I'll be late to a phone call, but usually my phone goes off, so whatever, YOLO. But I still don't like it. I'm always busy. Never available. Skype's a liar. Alright, so Frost, being Stork's map choice, he just seems to like this as a map. Again, it's not terrible for Protoss either. It's not like it's so weird, but there are definitely maps you'll notice that players prefer over others, but either because they're very good for their race or because they just are very comfortable on it. But ByuN is going to go for a 1-base build to start things off anyway. We'll see if he actually commits to like 1 base for very long. I don't think he will, especially once he sees that it's cross spawn. But things are going to get started pretty early. And Stork's also scouting incorrectly first, but should see this in time to react to it.
Do you think we see Stork go for Stargates again?
I don't know, we could.
I'm so jaded on this, right, as I continue not even be able to say words. I love the idea of Stargates, and I think when executed correctly and perfectly, they are probably one of the stronger builds Protoss have available. But it's so hard, really, to make it work for ByuN. Like, the first time around, having Void Rays ready to catch units, or doing anything like this, or watching stats even play earlier, it looks weak, though, if not done correctly.
Well, this probe's going to maybe get denied before we can see the command center timing. No, it doesn't.
No, close though. Still seeing a Marine not this quick. The fact that there's no Reaper coming across the map might just dumb a couple things here and there. I'm not sure if he'll be aware of the Hellions per se, but these, you know, speaking of Colossus coming back, Hellions have been making their way back in the matchup too.
Well, he knows that it was, unless it was something truly weird, that it was a Barracks Factory opener, since the command center was... It was down, but it was late. It is a question, though, yeah, if it could have been a Cyclone opener, those are used by certain Terran, like Gumio, for instance, or it could have been a Hellion opener. So it is going to be Hellions. Only 2, though, and the Militia Corps is going to get a couple pot shots before they actually start to endanger the mineral line. But needs to get back there.
I particularly like Hellions because it seems like they're always going to be cost effective most of the time. Kill 2 probes, get scouting. Like, it's not hard to make them worth their value.
Yeah. I mean, Stork was able to scout it like 2 seconds earlier than if he just had the Militia Corps back at home. But he also missed the Photon Overcharge, which would have made no probes dead. But 2 is still not that bad to lose. It's not even worth the Hellions.
Well, the scouting, though, gets to the mains. He's like, he said the exact timing of the Twilight Council finishing up. He knows that this wasn't like something super rushed and ridiculous.
Yeah, and he did deny some mining just from the minerals, the probes being pulled from the minerals.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I like the build. I like the opener as well, as he did get that scout off, too. But it's also about the follow-up. Another Wood of Mine drop here. This time, maybe Stork is a little bit, you know, messed up from that. Or, ideally, he has used the Photon Overcharge already, so only has 1 available. And you can kind of, you can actually get it baited. But still has 2, almost 3 available. Stalker's in position as well. Stork, I think, realizes what the follow-up is. This is pretty common follow-up. And is ready to go with it. Blink should not be done in time to kill the medevac. That should not go down. But there's always a chance that ByuN overstays his welcome. And with 4 Stalkers, could be targeted.
Oh, there's the unload. Completely safe and sound out of the vision of his opponents. Just comes on in with a fully loaded Marine force. 1 Marine goes down pretty quick, actually. He's trying to set it around. Of course, Stork trying to kite around. A little bit awkward to see on both sides, but nice control for units that have no tack on either side of this.
Yeah. Maybe had Stork focus fired the medevac earlier, still lost the Stalker, but focus fired, might have gotten that medevac.
It's a risk, right? Because on one side, it's always worth it to get rid of the medevac. That's what's going to really remove the Terran threat. But on the other, you also don't want to give away their Stalker so easily.
I don't think Stork realized there was going to be a second Wood of Mine drop. Oh god.
This
oh my god.
This could cost him really big. 2 Wood of Mines in the mineral lines, and boom, boom, boom. 10 go down.
Yeah, Stalkers, though, they catch the Liberator, and they're still scary, you know. This attack is also scary. Like, probes going down is always brutal. The Observer's not coming over here quite yet, so they could get another shot off. Like, that's scary stuff, but so is a huge Stalker army when you're not quite ready. He does snipe the Observer, though, and he does have a tank, although it's not quite sieged. Had it been seen, maybe it's targeted. Now Siege of the medevac should survive.
I like that he put all the SCVs to it ready to spam repair, but it's the medevac that gets focus fire, not the tank. So while they do their best to keep it alive, it still dies.
Uh-oh, and that Warp Prism can now turn into a warp mode. Got a couple more Stalkers in here. The Wood of Mines, by the way, still have not been cleaned up, so they get more probes killed. This really is Stork's last stand. He has to win with this, and the Warp Prism goes down with units inside of it, too.
He had some momentum going, but with 14 army supply remaining, I think that momentum's gone.
Yeah. Of course, he knew that he was on a timer. He knew that the Wood of Mines aren't being cleaned up, and this really was turning into an all-in. So, like, hopping on top of the tank and the medevac, it seemed like the best thing to do, but the Marine count beyond that, the SCVs, the option of pulling the SCVs, because you know you have a better worker count being there, it was not going to work out well for Stork unless he really, really got, like, a super great position, like, on top of the ramp or something. GG.
Yeah. Takes the lead now in the series. I'm not wrong, it's best of 5, right?
It is a best of 5, yes.
Okay. My brain's doing that thing where it's like, hey, it's 5 a.m., guys. What's up? How you doing?
Yeah. I guess to be clear, Stork moving across the map like that is actually sometimes a GG move. Oh, Jesus. Alarak, please. GG move for the Terran. Like, if they do not have that tank quite set up, if they only have so many Marines and the medevac is running its way back home or something like that, then they could just die. They don't have a lot of production when they go for a Wood of Mine drop.
Also, let's keep in mind, look how that fight started, right? Like, he did some really nice precision. Blinks in, kind of jukes out. You think go for the tank. No, snipes off the medevac. Cool, that's removed. Takes the tank down next. Like, there's a lot of moments in that last fight that was like, okay, he actually almost made that work.
Yeah. But he was supposed to have his Mothership Core in position to deny the Widow Mines. And he does that, and he probably wins, because then he can take his time and focus with the Stalkers.
I also want to bring this point up, too, not to make anything close to an excuse, but it's kind of cool to see, like, you've got ByuN, who is, like, a full-time player, you know? Just one huge, big guy, all this good stuff. And then Stork, who's kind of, like, I don't really know where he sees himself as a player, but from my point of view, like, he's just kind of a guy that shows up when he can. He's good. He kind of reminds me actually a little bit like what Todd used to be, where, yeah, you're, like, a player, but, you know, with Stork putting a lot of time into casting, player coaching, whatever you want to call it, like, he's not the full-time player that a lot of these other guys are.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's taking a game off of ByuN is already really cool, and then followed up by the fact that these aren't bad games. Like, that was not a raffle stomp by any means.
No, he's looking like, this is important too. In the Olimoleague that I think he had like 2nd place or maybe 3rd and 4th, I can't remember. The reason he's at the monthly finals, basically, or whatever Olimoleague he was in before, he would have a couple of games where it'd just be like super like, oh, that was obviously a mistake. So there's not much to comment more on other than, like, I guess Stork's not in the best shape of his life, but it's not super happening here. This isn't like him literally moving, like, not even moving, but moving his Stalkers into bio, which has happened in the past. This is him being distracted and making a good idea move and then just getting sideswiped by, you know, Widow Mine drop, which happens to Zest, you know, it happens to Stats, it happens to everyone.
Well, let's get into these intros. Spawning here at the bottom right side of the map. Currently leads the series. It is going to be the red Terran player, ByuN. 2-1 currently, if you can't see that score.
The top left, as the blue Protoss, he's Stork.
Also, so before we get into the game, chat brought up my broom in the background. And I actually don't normally have a broom in the background. But if you guys recall the last stream before we went to TwitchCon, I had a rather interesting duel with a bug, and I just never put the broom away because it just feels safe having it here.
It just feels safe. Got it.
Now I understand why Americans, you know, they want the guns so bad.
For bugs? Yeah. We do tend to just over-exaggerate. We're very dramatic people.
I mean, that was clearly going the direction of feeling safe, but yeah, you know, to shoot the bugs, you know, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Okay, I don't know. I never lived with guns. Like, my parents are very, like, not, like, they don't
really?
want guns.
Because I think you got a pair of very nice guns.
Hey-o.
Hey.
I had, my dad's, like, best friend is, like, one of those gun connoisseurs that, like, collects them, including, you know, semi-automatics, but also, like, 1700s, like, rifles, right? But it's the only guy I've known. I would probably not feel that comfortable with a gun in my house, even if we were all properly trained with it. It'd be really weird, to be honest. But I know a lot of people have a gun in their house.
There's a lot to be said about that, and I'll keep my own thoughts for now. But I think what's funny was when we did go to Texas, the Airbnb we stayed at, I got there like a little bit before Zombie grew up, and I jokingly asked, like, so do you have a bunch of guns I can look at? Like, 'cause, you know, it's America. She's like, yeah, you want to see them? She pulls out like 3 of them. I'm like, the whole time thinking like, oh, I wasn't serious, but okay, this is kind of cool, I guess. And then, do you say no to somebody who's got 3 guns in front of you?
Yeah. I mean, it really is true, though. Like, Walmart, you can see the guns in a display case for hunting. I could totally buy one. Well, nice. I could totally get a license, and then I could totally buy one. That's how that works. Anyway, this Marine really doing quite a thorough job checking for proxy pylons. You remember on King Sejong, Stork put 2 down fairly early, so this is not without, you know, this is not just him being paranoid. But Stork moving across the map with a Adept, a Probe, and a Mothership Core. ByuN, he started off with a Marine, he got the Reactor pretty quickly, so, I mean, he's gonna have 3 Marines, but you definitely need more than 3 to deal with both units, plus the pylons that are gonna come down, too. Worst case scenario, he could just let his supply depots die and, you know, wait. But I don't think he really wants to. 1 pylon has to be cancelled. A Cyclone is on the way. If he could get the Mothership Core, that would just be like a complete reversal of Stork's idea here. He is not supposed to really lose the Mothership Core. He can lose the Adept. He can lose the pylon eventually, but you cannot lose the Mothership Core.
Well, abusive and scary as the attack goes through, and that the Cyclone really has to save him here. It really does. It's just it's a good way to start pushing it back. As we can see, it doesn't quite kill the mothership core.
Yeah, I would say this is the expected damage done, unless you were following up with like a 1-base 4-gate, which Stork is not. Two supply depots down is not bad for 2 pylon cancels, a pylon, and an adept. You kill the adept?
Thank you to Nike Rim 420.
Woohoo! Nike Rim.
Or Nick Rim. I'm sorry. Let us know how to pronounce that in chat if you want, man. But thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub.
Ooh, this is pretty dangerous. Stork anticipated, I guess, some type of like fairly large push at the front, so he put 2 pylons here. But he doesn't have a foot overcharge, so it doesn't matter. The Cyclone does get the Stalker. He's going to micro the Marines because he's such a super cool baller. The Cyclone would have loved to get a lock on the militia core. That's a little unfortunate. And oh my god, just barely having 50 energy. But now it's gone, and he picked up that Cyclone. He can continue to do this damage. Cyclone is so close to dead, though. Oh my god, stop. No, stop. No, stop. Stop it. No! He gets the mothership core. And 7 probes. And a handful of army units.
I mean, it's so dedicated, though. It's one of those things where, like, I guess he's not out of the game from doing it, right? Like, he's not in immediate danger, but you're just like, man, you just put a lot into that. Like, an immediate counterattack becomes so scary, but I guess he's feeling good that his production line will keep him alive. It's gonna have to.
ByuN is looking pretty damn good. I mean, the only thing he really missed out from doing that was maybe his second barracks is a little bit late. So his sim isn't, you know, anywhere close to being done. So once Stork does take care of like the Liberator, a 3rd base could be put down. But it looks like Stork's gonna go for an all-in instead. He has 5 gateways, which is not like, it's not 7, right? But it is still more than you need if you're gonna do an expand build. And he's moving across the map with the Stalkers. He's gonna have Blinks, he's gonna have a Warp Prism, he's gonna have Observers. So even if one gets sniped, he'll have another one. And the Warp Prism for high ground vision. Like, he's got all the tools to make a Blink Stalker all in work.
By the way, apparently the guy's name is from Lord of the Rings. We're supposed to pronounce it like an elf, but I don't know how to speak Elfish, dude, so that's not gonna help.
I don't like
nonetheless.
I don't like Lord of the Rings, so I would have no idea what that means. What does talking like an elf mean?
Don't worry about her, okay? She's just silly.
Oh, this is not working. 3 tanks are obliterating Stork's Stalkers. He finally gets one of them.
Right, but that's the thing, right? How much it took to kill one of the 3 tanks. ByuN is a guy who's all about his micro, all about his control, and not letting much of anything slip here. Other side of the map has, what is that, the Cyclone? Okay, Cyclone's just kind of dancing around. Not a lot for it to really do right now, unfortunately.
Well, the Liberator is going to get free damage.
That'll be good, yeah. Actually, the Cyclone could potentially, in like a perfect world, get in there and just gonna cover the Liberator, but unfortunately, as we just witnessed, it didn't happen, so never mind.
Yeah, well, I thought it was gonna get more probes, but he got a Stalker and a probe. But it still forced Stork to warp in back at home, which is like unideal for Stork, who wants to have the all-in obviously isn't working. Like, the attack isn't working. ByuN is pretty well set up, and he has production now, putting a lot of units out. But Stork's the ones I think appears scary. Like, he can stop ByuN from getting a 3rd base on location, for instance. Which ByuN didn't even try and do. It would have been very bold to do, but still. And having all of his units on the front lines to be that kind of scary position was taken care of by the Liberator. And now a Cyclone, forcing more units to be warped in back on this side of the map. Some militia corps just being a lazy son of a...
Well, it would be a daughter of a...
Whatever, man. The Cyclone got obliterated too.
Actually, I finally need to stop making social justice warrior sarcasm jokes. Everyone thinks I'm a real social justice warrior. Feels bad, man.
Totally. Anyway, the wall of his completes. I think ByuN has, you know, he had that Cyclone over the 3rd base, so he knows that the 3rd base still was not going down despite holding against the Blink Stalker attack. And Stork is just getting another gateway. Oh.
Then I'm disconnecting?
Are you?
I don't know, do you see? I've got the attempting to reconnect screen. Why though? There was no latency going into this. This was actually smooth runnings. I'm just gonna surrender out. Here you go. Wait, is it still like? Is it not done timing out yet? I'm out of the game.
No. I mean, it still waits the entire 50 seconds, right? So.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, well.
While we're waiting, thank you to Stu on Twitter, aka NoobMasters2. Says, Watson, my best stream ever. And he's got us open on Team Liquid. Peace. Actually, that's interesting because I didn't know a lot of people watching Team Liquid, actually.
I do.
Oh, okay.
And you're
I
voted
always
out
know.
of the game. Goodbye forever. Well, this game might not be going on for very much longer. Stork is really, really, really going quite all in. I guess he is still maybe thinking about a third base? Pylon seems pretty close, but like, I don't know if he's really going to be able to get it down. As I said, another gateway's on the way, so bring it up to a total of 6 this time. He would have to do damage, basically, to really utilize a third base. Even if he, plans on getting one and it'll actually finish, and he'll be able to transfer the little, the few probes that he has over to it. He still would have to take ByuN down a notch to really utilize it like in a macro game sense. Because, Stork has no upgrades. He barely has the upgrades for the actual units. Blink and Resident Glaze had just finished. Stalkers do something really weird. They decide to go for the tanks, but in doing so, run through the bio. The Adepts are taken care of. The Immortals follow suit. The tanks are finally going to go down, but after getting quite a few shots, then okay, ByuN does have to retreat off of his third base. But he still has bio pumping out pretty continuously. He's got combat shields, he's got stim, he's got medivacs. Even almost gets the observer. There we go. Gets the observer. I think that is the last one there. So these Widow Mines will get repeated attacks. The War Prism still isn't down, so it's warping in more Adepts, but I don't think this is going to work. And if this doesn't work, then it's game over from Stork. And Stork is already down 2 maps. This would actually just be series as well. The last units go down. The War Prism went down. GG. ByuN takes the series 3-1.
Congratulations to ByuN. I was going through Twitter while we were waiting, though, and I just saw the absolute greatest post of a pun. I'm so happy I got to read this. So for those who don't know, there's a little bit of a thing, right? Hydra can't attend BlizzCon because of wedding conflicts. He's getting married, straight up, and it's a pretty big deal. And he had tried to plan around it, I guess, initially, but it didn't work. His predictions for like when BlizzCon would be were a little off.
Yeah.
But I love this post. It says he's got to decide his wife or ire.
Ha.
That's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. My client's been restarted. I hope there's no issues going forward. There really shouldn't be, but I have had issues with the Korean server for whatever reason. It just really doesn't like me, especially for the last month in particular. So I'm hoping that we won't have problems going forward.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Well, that advances ByuN to the finals. Stork does get quite a bit of cash. Top 4 after all. And next, we will be going on to the other semifinals, a TvT between Gumiho and Ryung. But that'll be coming up next. I'm not sure. I don't think they need a break. Maybe they do. Actually, Korean cast are still in the other game, which, whatever. Anyway.
So we'll be taking a couple minutes here. One way
A
to do it.
couple
So
minutes.
thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully it won't be too long. If it is longer, don't worry. We'll be back soon. Either way, we'll see you in a bit.